Now, some of the Jubilee Member of Parliament from Kieleweke side in Central Region have been seeking attention of President Uhuru Kenyatta to solve some issues in the Jubilee Party. And Ngunjiri Wambugu, the Nyeri Town Member of Parliament, has been on forefront of pushing for a talk with President Uhuru Kenyatta so that they can sort some of the messes in Jubilee Party. So President Uhuru Kenyatta gave an attention to these members, and the president had a parliamentary group meeting with these leaders at State House, Nairobi, to solve some of the issues in Jubilee and giving direction to the party. And we understand the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto has also invested in some people so that they always give out some of the information these leaders are discussing in those meetings. Remember, Ruto is not attending those meetings. He has been sidelined since now Ruto has come out with his UDA party. So some of these messages always, some of these things that they are always discussing there, normally leak out to the Deputy President. So when the DP receives this information, normally he will always share it out through Dennis Itumbi, who actually has become his spokesman. Also, on a platform Itumbi is referring to as NHIB, the National Hustler Intelligence Bureau. Now, whether that information is 100% sure, or they will always try to change some issues so that it suits what they want to give outside there, is something else. But what I understand is that actually mostly what they speak there will always come to pass. So it means to some extent it has some truth. So again today, Itumbi shared some of the information these leaders discuss in that PG. And that is what I want us to look into. But before we go deep into that, you might be watching me and you have not yet subscribed. My humble request, please consider subscribing so that any other time once we come out with a video like this one, you will always get notified. And to all the channel subscribers, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. So this is what Itumbi is saying. The Hustler Nation Intelligence Bureau agency are reporting the following from the State House meeting between President Kenyatta, Kieleweke MPs, and some selected MCAs. Number 1, President Kenyatta has allowed Kieleweke MPs to remove SG Raphael Tuju and Vice Chair David Murathe. Now, if you remember, for the longest time, we have been having part of the Jubilee leaders, especially from Central Region, who have complained about the leadership of David Murathe and the SG Raphael Tuju. So these guys, and remember, Ngunjiri Wambugu has been on forefront asking David Murathe to get out of Jubilee Party so that they can allow young leaders to come and take over the leadership. Because even the exchange between David Murathe and the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto has not been that much good. And remember, Ruto still has some support in Central Region. So that exchange was not favoring the Jubilee Party in Central Region. That's why these guys were pushing for Murathe to get out. Again, they were not believing so much in Raphael Tuju leadership as of late. Because Tuju is not on ground. Tuju is not informed on what is going on within Central Region. For them, they feel that they should inject in new leadership, young people who can propel the Jubilee agenda as they go forward. So I think if this is true, then the president has finally understood and accepted the request by these leaders to have Murathe and the team out of Jubilee. Because for them, they were believing that Murathe is obsessed in talking more about Raila Amolo Odinga, Mandela movement, rather than focusing on rebuilding Jubilee, in as much they could have a chance to support Raila Amolo Odinga in the next general election. So Itumbi goes on to say, the Jubilee leadership coup was approved and the Kieleweke team was assigned the role to come up with the name to replace the two within 2 weeks. So it means they have been given a period of 2 weeks to come up with the new names to replace Murathe and Tuju. So, within 2 weeks, we are going to see the changes in Jubilee Party as we are going forward. And number 3, approve rebranding Jubilee. Now, if you have been careful with Central Region politics, you will always come to agree that these guys will always use one party just one time in one election. Then when they get to another election, always they will come out with a new party. Remember during Kibaki time, PNU came into play. During Uhuru time, there was TNA and URP. Second time, he came out with Jubilee Party. And now going forward, they are going to rebrand Jubilee, and maybe a new brand is coming into play. Maybe they will have Jubilee, or a change of name will come into play. So this is the character of Central Region. Just one election, then in the next election, something new will come into play. So that confirms the fact that they are appreciating this move, and in the near future, we are going to see something new from the Jubilee, we know. Because there have been also even a lot of wrangles in this Jubilee. So they might bring a change of name so that they disassociate themselves totally from William Samoei Ruto, who still claim part of Jubilee Party, such that it will be seen as a new thing. Because even, anyway, William Samoei Ruto has also moved on by coming out with the UDF. And number 4, Itumbi goes on to say, those in attendance maintain that they will not sell Raila Odinga, as it was impossible to do so in Mount Kenya. So it means these guys are telling President Uhuru Kenyatta that it's not possible to sell Raila Amolo Odinga in Central Region. And remember, even this team was pushing for a change in Jubilee Party simply because the agenda in Jubilee had become just to sell Raila Amolo Odinga candidature. And these leaders had another idea, that it has become hard to sell Raila Amolo Odinga in Central Region. That's why they were calling for a change in Jubilee Party. Because Murathe, for him, he was just Raila Amolo Odinga and the Mandela movement. But this leader were thinking about their re-election into their positions. Because for them, they were telling President Uhuru Kenyatta that it will be somehow hard for us to campaign for ourselves and at the same time sell a Raila Odinga candidature in Central Region when William Samoei Ruto is here selling his candidature. So still they are telling President Uhuru Kenyatta that they will not concentrate on selling Raila Amolo Odinga. And maybe for Uhuru to accept this could be a reason why Uhuru might think that Central Region should come together and have a presidential candidate of their own. Then in that way, they might dig deeper into William Samoei Ruto support base. And at the end of the day, they can bring it on a table in case there will be a rerun to Raila Amolo Odinga. And in that way, maybe President Uhuru Kenyatta would have achieved his goal of selling Raila Odinga to Central Region if that is his desire against his Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. So in that way, I think also it can work out well, rather than having the burden of trying to sell Raila Amolo Odinga in Central, when at the same point, President Uhuru Kenyatta and his team have used all of their entire time in politics to demonize Raila Amolo Odinga among the Central Region people. That's why William Samoei Ruto would always want to have a continuity of demonizing Raila Amolo Odinga in Central Region at expense of clinging to power. Now, number 5, Itumbi goes on to say that the Kieleweke group was adamant that Jubilee should abandon the merger plan with the ODM. Number 6 goes on to say the president was non-committal on that merger issue. So we have already talked about this. And if you remember, Ngunjiri Wambugu, Kanini Kega, Anne Waiguru and the team, they were somewhere in a meeting kwa hotel fulani. And when they came out, Anne Waiguru came out betraying her first statement when she endorsed Raila Amolo Odinga. And she said, we have not endorsed anyone, including Raila Amolo Odinga, to Central Region. What we are saying that we are open to each and every individual, be it Musalia Mudavadi, William Ruto, Raila Amolo Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and any other presidential aspirant to negotiate with the Central Region people, and they will take the best person who will take care of their interest ahead of 2022 general election. That is what they came out with. So the team is still pushing for that narrative that they are now coming out clear that they have not endorsed Raila Amolo Odinga and they are not committed merging Jubilee with ODM. And even some of the ODM people still feel that the merger between Jubilee and ODM will not be good for ODM party. So at least most of these people are accepting this. And even my friend Lee agrees to this. For him, he still feels that the merger between ODM and Jubilee is not good for the ODM party. Now, on Mount Kenya issue, Itumbi goes on to say that the president said the Jubilee top leadership issue should be sorted immediately, and that very soon, same thing in the near future, he would host yet another meeting at Sagana. So it means there will be another following meeting in Sagana to see the progress of that meeting. So it means maybe with this, if these leaders will have now come out with those new names that they are talking about to replace these other leaders, is when now President Uhuru Kenyatta will again be attending to them. Now, still on Mount Kenya issue, Itumbi goes on to say that the president was asked who is his choice of candidature for 2022 general election. And the president was non-committal and said he was aware that it was impossible to sell pork in the mosque, a popular narrative in Mount Kenya on candidature of Raila Odinga. So that is according to Itumbi, that the president is acknowledging that it is going to be very hard to sell Raila Amolo Odinga in Central Region. So he is non-committal on that issue. Then C, the president told the meeting he had no problem with Kiraitu Murungi, JB Muturi, MK is Moses Kuria, and others with small parties. I look forward to sit with them as part of this group. So the president is acknowledging these other small parties that is emerging from Central Region, and that he will soon seek to sit with these people and talk with them. In that way, it means the president is seeing an advantage where William Samoei Ruto is not seeing an advantage, because these people are seeking for attention of William Samoei Ruto to go into a coalition with him in UDA party. But William Samoei Ruto has maintained that he is not going to go into a coalition with any individuals. That those who want to work with him should join UDA party and not come with the what Ruto is referring to as tribal political parties to negotiate with them. That he is not ready to negotiate with tribal parties. And that is where I normally say that William Samoei Ruto might not be serious on becoming the next president. In my view, I feel that William Samoei Ruto might just preparing himself to be the next opposition leader. Because once you refuse to acknowledge that Kenyan politics is still tribal, and you will need all these political parties from different regions for you to capture power, that's where you will fail totally. But once you acknowledge that, then it is going to be very easy for you to negotiate with these people in a coalition. And that's why you saw Raila Amolo Odinga, when he was in an interview with Central Region radio station, he was clear that he is ready to negotiate with anyone. He's calling anyone on board to negotiate with him and form coalition. So for him, he has opened up for these people. But Ruto is not keen on going in a coalition with any individual. So Itumbi finished by goes on to say that the president, however, noted that he is not vying and would therefore not be available to do rally every other day. So Uhuru Kenyatta has made himself clear to these guys that he will not be in active politics to campaign in rallies. And for that reason, if really this is true, then ODM also should be here to understand that Uhuru might not be in active rally campaigns, maybe with Raila Amolo Odinga. And if he has to do that support, then he will do it in another way of maybe having a Central Region political party to dig deeper into William Samoei Ruto vote, then bring on table to negotiate with Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, David Murathe, who was pushing for a Raila candidature in the Jubilee Party, will be finally removed with Raphael Tuju. I don't know if the new leadership which will take over that party will continue with selling Raila Amolo Odinga agenda to Central Region. Time will tell. But what we understand that this group came out to contradict David Murathe simply because they believe that Murathe was killing Jubilee Party by being obsessed with ODM politics. Now, thank you for listening to me up to this far. But guys, sometimes it's fun here. You know, when I talk about issues to do with William Samoei Ruto, those people who don't agree with me will always bash me as a Jaluo. They always say that huyu Mjaluo kazi yake ni kusupport Raila, we know him. Now, when it comes to issue of talking about Raila Amolo Odinga, you will get some of the ODM supporters saying that this guy is sympathetic to William Samoei Ruto. And now, when I talk about Musalia Mudavadi, again, some of the ODM people will always say this guy is a Mudavadi man. So anyway, I'm happy. If you can call me Ruto, you call me Raila, and you call me Mudavadi, then it means I'm talking about all these people. So thank you so much, guys. That was just on a light note. I still acknowledge everyone and every advert that comes from you guys. Keep on subscribing and let us grow this platform together. See you in our next video.